I want to give you just one quick narration. One of the narrations from the books of the Christians or Jews. Jesus alayhi salam was approached by a Jewish man and he said to him, I want to accompany you on your travels. He said to him, come with me. As they traveled, Jesus alayhi salam, he had with him 3 loaves of bread. Suddenly they became 2. So he says to the man, where is the 3rd loaf of bread? He says to him, I swear by Allah, there were only ever 2 loaves of bread. And they continued walking until they reached a blind man. Isa alayhi salam, he places his hand on the face of this blind man and asks Allah Ta'ala to restore him his vision, and his vision comes back. The Jewish man, he says, Subhanallah, shocked. Jesus alayhi salam, he says, I ask you in the name of the one who restored him his vision, where is the 3rd loaf of bread? He said, there were only 2 loaves of bread. No use. They continued walking until they reached a river. And he said to him, how are we going to cross this river? Isa alayhi salam said to him, say it in the name of Allah, Bismillah, and just follow me. And La ilaha illallah, by the permission of Allah Ta'ala, there they are, walking on the surface of the water. Until they got to the other side, and this man, he said, Subhanallah, we just walked on water, Subhanallah. He says, I ask you in the name of the one who gave us permission to walk on the sea, where is the 3rd loaf of bread? He said, no, there were only 2 loaves of bread. La ilaha illallah. Here, Isa alayhi salam, he makes 3 piles of soil. And then he asks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to convert them into gold. And this man is like, wow, mashallah, who do these 3 piles of gold belong to? He said, well, the first belongs to me. The second belongs to you. And he said, the third? He said, the third belongs to the one who ate the 3rd loaf of bread. He said, I ate the loaf of bread. That was me. Isa alayhi salam looks to him and says, kulluhum lak. All of them belong to you, take them. Isa alayhi salam, he walks away. And you imagine, this guy is just amazing, man. What have I done in my life to deserve this? Meanwhile, 3 horsemen, they pass by and they see gold and they see one man guarding it. What do they do to the man? They finish him off. Subhanallah, dunya, huh? They didn't even have a moment to enjoy his wealth. Subhanallah, shaitan though, he comes in and instantly starts playing about with their minds. How are you going to get hold of all 3 to yourself? So one of them leans over to his friend and he says, Ya akhi, wouldn't it be great for us to have these last pile of gold, split it in half and have half a pile extra each? He said, you know what, that's a beautiful idea. Should we get rid of him? I think we get rid of him. They said to him, brother, what do you say if you go and get us some food? We're hungry just before we set off. He said, we'll do that. He went away to buy them some food. Shaitan, he comes to him and he says, you know, it would be lovely to have those 3 piles of gold to myself. So what does he do? He poisons the food. Allahu Akbar. He comes back with the food, thinking, I've got these guys under control. They greet him with stabbings until he's dead. They sit down to eat the food. La ilaha illallah, and they're dead. Meanwhile, Isa alayhi salam, he walks back and he sees 4 men lying dead on the floor and 3 heaps of gold untouched. And he says, هَكَذَا تَفْعَلُ الدُّنْيَا بِأَهْلِهَا. This is what dunya does to its people. Wallahi ya ikhwan, forgive me, but when one of us will finally and eventually find himself lying on a plank of wood being washed with lotus leaf and warm water so that they don't hurt your dead corpse. Wallahi ya ikhwan, even that gold tooth you may have in your mouth, that's going to be removed. And that's going to be split between your inheritors. Nothing is going to go underground with you except your hasanat and your sayyi'at.